The Roadster is Tesla's ultimate supercar offering, with CEO Elon Musk touting that the purpose of this vehicle is to give a hardcore smackdown to gas-powered cars. The Roadster will put the pedal to the metal in 2021, being the quickest car in the world, not just for electric vehicles, but out of any production car. It will boast an insane amount of range for an EV and will make other supercars look like horses glued to the sidewalk. But with a starting price of $200,000 US, how many of these vehicles could Tesla actually produce, and how much money could they bring in? We believe the Tesla Roadster could rake in billions of dollars for Tesla. Let's have a look. But first, please hit the bell button to subscribe and be notified of upcoming Tesla videos, and smash the like button to help support this video. We'd super appreciate that. You can also support us further on Patreon at patreon.com/themarketisOpen, where we give a shout out to our patrons at the end of each video. The original Roadster is the vehicle that started it all. It was the first all-electric production vehicle that Tesla produced starting in 2008 and lasting for 4 years. The Roadster had a range of about 220 miles per charge, and Tesla managed to sell 2,450 units of this vehicle, starting at an approximate base price of $109,000. When Elon Musk first started on the Roadster project, he believed it was going to be easy to simply retrofit a Lotus Elise chassis with an electric motor. However, the project was a lot more difficult than originally thought, with Tesla having to make large modifications to the chassis, delaying the project multiple times, and even having to raise price on reservation holders who had already put down their deposits. The final vehicle did not have a single body panel in common with the Lotus. In the end, the original Roadster used an AC propulsion electric drivetrain and was the first all-electric production car to use lithium-ion batteries. It had a carbon fiber chassis which was actually 6 inches longer than the Lotus Elise template and weighed 30% more. This was essentially Tesla's proof of concept that electric cars could look good, have considerable range, and could beat their gas-powered counterparts off the starting line. Roadster had a 0 to 60 acceleration of just under 4 seconds, and ever since Elon Musk sent his Roadster into orbit around the sun, it's also the fastest car ever, traveling at 38,000 miles per hour. In terms of batteries, Roadster had an onboard 53 kilowatt-hour battery as the source of power for the vehicle, which is very similar in energy to the standard Plus Model 3 of today, which has a 54 kilowatt-hour battery pack but gets 250 miles of range and sells for just $38,000, about a third the price of Tesla's first vehicle. It paints a picture of how far Tesla has come in the last decade. However, Tesla isn't stopping there. Currently, their highest-end offering is the Model S, which starts at just $75,000, and of course the SUV sister car, the Model X, which has a base price of $80,000. These vehicles are supercars in their own right, with best-in-class acceleration and range for an electric vehicle. Model S performance doing 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, and the long-range model able to travel 400 miles on a single charge. Yet, there's still another market segment for sports cars and supercars that Tesla is missing out on. That's why Tesla has decided to bring back the Tesla Roadster in 2021.
It was the foundation of the whole company. It was the Tesla Roadster. People have asked us for a long time, when are you going to make a new Roadster? We are making it now.
The new Roadster breaks every world record related to performance, 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds for the base model, and that's a world record for a production vehicle. 620 miles of range is almost triple that of the original Roadster, and Tesla tends to outdo itself in the actual production version versus the prototype. Tesla unveiled the new Roadster in 2017 with an initial release date of 2020. However, the Roadster will be delayed until at least 2021. Elon Musk calls it dessert, and the focus will likely be on the Tesla Semi and the Cybertruck first, which have a large market reach and will be a priority for getting the world off of fossil fuels. But there's no reason to overlook or to discount the market penetration of the new Tesla Roadster, despite it being a higher-end, lower-volume sports car. What we know is that the world record-breaking vehicle will be absolutely spectacular, but how much money will it make for Tesla? Although Roadster will be lower volume than other Tesla vehicles, its premium price should not be underestimated. Roadster starts at $200,000 for the base model. On top of that, Tesla will likely charge more for wheels, different paint colors, and of course autopilot and full self-driving features. The Founders Series alone starts at $250,000, and they're limited to 1,000 vehicles. That in itself is $250 million for Tesla. But let's look at some competitors in the ultra high-end space to get a better idea of what Tesla's sales may be. I'd like to look at Ferrari because it's a pure play on high-end sports cars. The stock, ticker symbol RACE, has quadrupled over the past 4 years, and of course Ferrari makes vehicles comparable to the Roadster. Now I understand that they have a very strong brand name, they definitely have fans. However, Tesla's making very powerful inroads into many automobile market segments, and they too have a quickly growing fan base. Additionally, Ferrari's vehicles run on fossil fuels, and the Tesla Roadster will be able to outrun every single Ferrari ever made. So I think that Tesla could gain traction and also take some customers away from Ferrari. Ferrari customers either want high performance or want to buy a car so expensive that makes them feel exclusive so that they can show off to their friends. And I think Tesla's offering will be better at doing that. They're simply up against the brand name, and Ferrari is very tenuous in the electric space. Now, according to Cars.com, Ferrari generally sells cars between $250,000 and $350,000. That's the MSRP starting price, which is a little more expensive than the Roadster, and then there's many more bells and whistles to be added to the Ferrari as compared to the minimum number of options that Tesla has. Now, Ferrari sold 10,000 cars last year in 2019. That's a big number given the high price. And that's also a record for the company. They brought in $4.25 billion US. The company is Italian, so it reports in euros, but I've converted it to US dollars. And they have 52% gross margin, so they're marking up the cars by a huge amount. However, their business model is slightly different than Tesla's with dealerships and such, but Ferrari doesn't sell a high volume vehicle, so I think Tesla could have some additional efficiencies if you look at the Roadster alone by reusing parts from other vehicles, reusing factory space, tying into Tesla's delivery network, for example. So Tesla has a few efficiencies for reducing costs over Ferrari, and Tesla of course already has a supercharger network. Their autopilot software, as I mentioned, is already being used for their other cars. They don't need to start from scratch, whereas if Ferrari wanted to copy Tesla, they would need to build all of these things out for their mere 10,000 vehicles. It actually wouldn't make a lot of sense, and they would need to partner. Furthermore, Ferrari spends an incredible $790 million in research and development each year, whereas Tesla spends only about 60% more, but for the entire company, which is pretty crazy given all the products that Tesla has been able to produce, which have been best in their class. Now, one very interesting point that I wanted to go back on in more detail is that any car maker that sells in low volumes will need to join forces or merge or partner in order to get access to a supercharger network. I think this is one aspect where Tesla's supercharger network really shines and acts as a moat for the company. Again, when you partner, you give up or lose some control over the customer experience. If Ferrari wants premium-looking high-speed superchargers for their high-end customers, and no one else is offering that and they can't build it on their own, then their brand could suffer. Whereas Tesla has full control over the look and feel and the performance of their own charging network and can upgrade it whenever they want, wherever they want, and don't need to fill out paperwork or to ask permission to get approval. So you might say, oh well, Ferrari can just make a low-volume electric car, no problem, but I think they're going to run into other roadblocks such as this, and that could really limit the number of high-end competitors in the EV space unless they're part of a larger company that also sells high-volume vehicles. Okay, so if Tesla matches Ferrari and sells 10,000 Roadsters per year, they would make at least $2 billion, assuming all of these vehicles were the base model. However, Tesla has a few tricks up its sleeve. One of them is something that Elon Musk says is basically cheating, and that's the SpaceX package for Roadster. Elon originally said that it would be Plaid, but he was talking about the Plaid powertrain, which will be available for Model S and X as well. The SpaceX package would unlock Spaceballs mode, which Elon has hinted will improve acceleration even more and even allow the vehicle to essentially fly. The SpaceX package would fit the Roadster with cold gas thrusters made by SpaceX. I would say that it's difficult to compete with that. Now, while we don't have the exact details, it's certainly exciting to have SpaceX technology on the vehicle, and I think that will make a version of Roadster ultra exclusive and ultra premium. They can and should charge whatever number they want for the SpaceX package. I think minimum $100,000 for this. Let me know in the comments what you think Tesla should charge for the SpaceX package. I mean, there are some Ferraris that sell over $600,000. Again, it's being tailored at rich people who don't really care about price. Some people just need something that no one else has, and I think the SpaceX package is the ultimate exclusive device. So overall, I think it's interesting to note that if Tesla could get pretty close to Ferrari's numbers, they could make billions of dollars with the Roadster alone. The thing I like about the Roadster is that this vehicle has the potential to dominate the entire class of high-end supercars. Elon says that a gas car is going to feel like a steam engine with a side of quiche. If you can get a Roadster for cheaper than any one of these Ferraris, then why would you get anything else? And if you simply have money to burn and you really are just looking to spend money to buy something that very few other people can get, then that's why the SpaceX package is being made available. Tesla really has a nice setup for pricing. They can hit many different pricing levels with the base model, the Founder Series, and the SpaceX package. They're really trying to blanket this entire market segment, and I think that could boost demand. Now, Ferrari is just one of the large players in the industry, and it's a great benchmark to look at. It's a public company, so we can see the financials, and it sells only high-end vehicles, so I think Tesla can aspire to have a Roadster be like that company. But there are plenty of other brands that Tesla can steal market share from at the high end, which is a very important market for many car companies given the low volume, high price, high margin aspect of the market that's very lucrative. Let's look at the Porsche Taycan. This is Porsche's fairly sad answer to Tesla's Model S. Not to mention the Tesla Model 3, which in many areas has better specs than the Taycan, specifically in range, despite it being 1/4 the price. Even Bill Gates bought a Taycan, only to realize that electric cars just aren't there yet, and Bill suffers from range anxiety because of it. Should have looked at the Tesla. However, Porsche biases aside, one reason why Bill Gates may not have looked at Tesla is because Tesla doesn't sell a vehicle in his price range. The Tesla Model S starts at $75,000, and so even if you add every single option, making it as expensive as possible, the most expensive Model S is only $110,000 fully loaded. Tesla doesn't sell any car, save SUVs, at a higher price than that. They're literally trying to save you money at the high end to make their cars affordable and to sell more cars. But rich people don't like that. This car is too cheap, and Tesla makes nothing more expensive. The Porsche Taycan has versions ranging from $100,000 to $180,000 for the base models before add-ons. Of course, Bill Gates is a fan of Porsche as well, that may have helped, but what's most interesting is that according to Inside EVs, Porsche has 15,000 orders and 15,000 pre-orders for the Taycan. That's a fairly decent number actually given its price. Now what's strange is why would anyone want this car with just 200 miles of range? Most of the time you're trying to figure out how to charge it rather than actually driving it. But I think the real reason is that Tesla hasn't come out with a competing model yet. So this car has no competition in terms of its price and exclusivity. Enter Roadster. So I think Roadster can wipe the floor with the competition. The vehicle is better in every way than its competitor offerings, and finally Tesla will have a car in the ultra high-end supercar class at high yet comparable prices to its competitors. At 10,000 units of sales, Tesla could bring in $2 to $3 billion of additional revenue. However, I think Tesla can actually sell more Roadsters than that. I estimate 20,000 per year, and you might say, well, that's almost half as much as the Model S. I agree, but the Model S is up against high-end Model 3s, which are similar in price, and a lot of people say that the Model 3 is actually better. Roadster, however, is untouchable. It's much further away from the Model S in terms of performance and price, and its performance is second to none. People are salivating over this car. If Tesla can sell 20,000 Roadsters per year, they will bring in an additional at least $4 billion of super high margin revenue, helping to boost the company's overall gross margin. I'm not even counting the SpaceX package here since we don't have the pricing yet, but I would say that the higher the better. Using Ferrari's numbers as an estimate, imagine Roadster alone is worth $30 billion in market cap, the same as Ferrari. That would be a fifth of Tesla's market cap in value just from a single low-volume product line, so it definitely makes sense for them to build this car, and I think, as mentioned earlier, Tesla will have greater efficiencies in many areas with this vehicle, and so this car could be worth even more to Tesla shareholders. Furthermore, Roadsters will create buzz and excitement as it's currently doing today, and it's not even in production yet it gives Tesla an image or perception of high-quality performance vehicles. And I think that will boost Tesla's free marketing strategy and will help sell other Tesla vehicles. Overall, I believe that the Roadster is not to be underestimated. It will have plenty of market share to steal from high-end manufacturers such as Ferrari and Porsche and many others, who from the moment the Roadster hits the market will be producing third or fourth rate cars that simply won't compare to Tesla's Roadster. But in all, that's why I believe the Roadster can make billions of dollars for Tesla. Let us know what you have to say about our thoughts on the Roadster and how much money Roadster will make for Tesla in the comments section below. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the like button to help support this video. We'd super appreciate that. You can also hit the bell button to subscribe and be notified of upcoming Tesla videos. And you can join us on Patreon at patreon.com/themarketisopen, where we give a shout out to our patrons at the end of each video. Don't forget to check out our other videos as well, and thanks so much for watching.